Valle, sou professor de Epistemologia e Filosofia da Ciência na Universidade Federal do ABC. Nestas duas videoaulas, entrevistei 3 pesquisadores da Universidade de Lisboa, do Centro de Filosofia da Ciência. Eles estão interessados em diversos aspectos da filosofia da ciência, em particular da filosofia da biologia, da filosofia da física e da matemática. Perguntamos para ele, na primeira videoaula, de se apresentar e de falar um pouco do porquê a filosofia da ciência é importante para a ciência e para os cientistas, e na segunda aula de falar um pouco de um dos tópicos mais importantes da filosofia da ciência contemporânea, isto é, a questão do realismo científico e do debate entre realistas e antirrealistas.
Davide Vecchi. I'm a researcher at the Center for Philosophy of Sciences of the University of Lisbon.
My name is Elena Casetta and I'm a philosopher of science. I work at the University of Turin and at the University of Lisbon.
Hello everybody, my name is Daniele Molinini. I'm a researcher in philosophy of mathematics with some overlap with philosophy of physics here at the CFCUL, University of Lisbon. My research is mainly focused on philosophy of mathematics, but I'm a physicist, so I also do some philosophy of physics and general philosophy of science.
And I'm particularly involved in issues concerning the philosophy of biology and theoretical biology, in particular evolutionary biology. So what is philosophy of science? Philosophy of science is a very wide area of studies that can be distinguished, simplifying, into areas. One is the philosophy of the general sciences, and the other is the philosophy of particular sciences, like for example physics or biology or chemistry or human sciences.
Science and scientific practice is a matter of posing questions, answering these questions in a lot of different ways. And actually this is the same thing that we do in philosophy.
My field of study is a quite recent field of study in the philosophy of science, which is the philosophy of biodiversity. And in this sense, it is quite clear why philosophy and science can interact with benefit. Because if we think about what biodiversity is and about the crisis of biodiversity and the fact that we are required to take care, to manage the crisis of biodiversity, it is clear that it is not just a scientific matter. We need to measure biodiversity, to assess it, and that is somehow a job for scientists.
Why is philosophy of science an important discipline for scientists? In my opinion, it is because there are particular issues, especially conceptual issues, concerning the definition of basic terms that are used in science and the historical and also philosophical interpretation of particular problems, especially theoretical problems, in the particular sciences that are of relevance to the scientists themselves. So, for example, in the philosophy of biology, which is my field, one classic problem, for example, is the problem of how to define species. So in biological practice, you've got a wide range of definitions of species. What the philosopher does is analyzing conceptually the foundation of each concept with the aim, at least this should be the case, of informing the work of practicing scientists, like for example taxonomists who classify species, or even evolutionary biologists who take for granted that species are the entities that evolve during evolution.
There are several ethical issues involved in the biodiversity crisis. For instance, why we want to conserve biodiversity. why it is good for us, if it is good for us, and so on and so forth. And there are different discourses involved in the biodiversity, in the management of the biodiversity crisis.
If you look at the history of science, before our era, there was no definite distinction between philosophy and scientific practice. So we had great scientists such as Newton or Galileo, and they were also philosophers. Aristotle is a great example of such figures.